Do I really look like a guy with a plan?
You know, I just do things.
All right, let's talk about the sales process. This is where we really start to get into the fun parts of making money. All right, so you're gonna be driving through neighborhoods, and we will talk about this with Sales Rabbit, but you're gonna have a couple different programs in the company to track the sales process. Number one is gonna be Sales Rabbit. That is the app that you're going to use in order to track your activity so you can mark damage that you find. You can also add notes, photos, plan routes, schedule appointments. It tracks your metrics. That is going to be the primary app that we're going to use on the sales team. And when you get into Sales Rabbit, we'll talk about neighborhood planning. Little tidbit, when you select an area, your first time going through there, you want to go through every single street. Do not spot knock. I see guys doing this when they start. It never works. If you go through every street in a neighborhood, you're going to be able to map all of the damage within that neighborhood on your first visit. What your hardest part in this process is finding the damage at first. So if you go through the entire neighborhood, you now have turned that into a map of every damaged home in that neighborhood. You don't have to think about, did I go down that street? Did I go down that street? Maybe there's another house damaged over there. You have all of that data on your Sales Rabbit by tracking your activity. This is very powerful. This is very, very powerful. This allows you to work very effectively, and then when you go to the next neighborhood, you can do the exact same thing. Now, unless there is a storm between the time you did that initial thorough knocking of the first visit of the neighborhood and the day that you're going to be going out knocking, you don't have to second guess yourself. Unless there was a storm, you already have a map of all of that damage. So you can follow up, and that's going to be a very big key to the sales process, is following up. The pitch. We've already covered a video of the pitch. You should have it memorized by now. If you don't have it memorized, I'm gonna tell you again, you're not following what I'm telling you. You need to memorize the pitch. Then the next step is to proceed. You should know the pitch word for word. You need to know the pitch so well that you can say it forwards, backwards. If you get interrupted, you need to be naturally flowing. The less effort you put into this, the more money it is going to cost you. The more effort you put into it in the beginning, the more money you're going to make. First step, find damage. Drive through the neighborhood, you find damage. You're gonna knock the door every time. You walk up, you do the knock. We talked about that in the pitch. You do your knocks, ring the doorbell, and then the homeowner is gonna come out. You say the pitch. Now, the goal of the pitch is not for you to close the homeowner. We don't close on the ground. I want a process that is gonna work the largest amount of times. I don't wanna have something that works 70% of the time when I could have something that works 80% of the time. I want something that's going to give me the best, most reasonable results, and then I want to do that every door. I say the same exact thing on every door, not because it's boring, but because it works. If I get interrupted, I can go right to my automatic response, which is the pitch that I've memorized word for word. Some guy opens the door and he's wearing a towel soaking in water and yells at you for knocking the door when he's in the shower. If you can train and recite responses for situations like that, you can win them over and close those deals. The sales process is simple. First you knock, then you're going to transition to the roof. You're going to take photos while you're up there of damaged shingles to show the homeowner. You're going to come down and you're going to do what's called good news, bad news. After good news, bad news, you're going to show them the photos that you have on the roof and build the urgency that the roof actually is damaged and it does need to be taken care of. Then you're going to reiterate what you said at the door, that you can guarantee them in writing the insurance is going to approve it, and that you have a form that assigns you as the contractor. Then you're going to open AccuLinks, enter their information, save that lead. Next step is to run a storm report on weather guidance, which you will receive the current login information from your sales manager. After you run the storm report, you're going to file the claim. Now, every insurance company is different, but there's really only about 12 to 16 insurance companies we see pop up all the time. And there are a big 4 carriers, right? You have State Farm, Liberty Mutual, USAA, Travelers. There's just a handful of really big ones that you're gonna work with. When you call to file the claim, you need to remember that everything is being recorded. Every word you say, every word the homeowner says. The homeowner can verify their information with the insurance company, but once they start asking questions about the date of loss, the kind of damage that's going on. You want to take over the call and ensure that the proper storm dates are given, the proper verbiage is used. After you file the claim, you're going to add the claim information to the AccuLinks lead. You're going to save it. Then you're going to go to Documents, start a new Smart Doc, and you're going to sign the homeowner in the Smart Docs folder. Make sure you sign it after then and that you proofread everything to make sure their information is accurate. After signing, you're going to thank the homeowner for trusting you with their home. You're going to give them one of your business cards, and you're going to ask for two things. Number one, that they give you a referral, and number two, that you can put a sign in their yard to advertise to the neighbors. Every single home you should be doing this, and if you ask referrals, you'll be hearing this throughout the entire process. Referrals, referrals, referrals. It's hot in Arizona, and I know you don't want to be on the doors all day, every day, 2 or 3 years from now. The way you get off the doors is referrals. Let your customers do the knocking, let the customers do the sourcing, the marketing, and the selling for you by asking for referrals, not just in the beginning, but again and again and again throughout the sales process. And then after they become a completed project, keep in touch with them once a month. Send them gifts. Keep them loving you so that when a storm hits a friend of theirs 2 or 3 years from now, they send them your information and you get to walk right into a close. And some of these roofs that I've signed on referrals are houses that are in gated neighborhoods that I typically would not be able to get into, and they're huge, big money roofs that they will only go with someone that they've got a referral from somebody else. After asking for the referral, you'll then transition into, may I take a photo of the underside of your roof from your attic? I just need to see the decking for the claim. The homeowner will take you to a crawl space, probably in a closet or in their garage. You take a photo of the underside of the decking, and if it is space, you need to measure the gaps. You need to find the largest gaps and take documentation of a tape measure next to it so we can know the width of those gaps for supplementing the claim. Thank them again for trusting you with their home. Make sure they still have a business card, and you're going to start documenting the outside of the home from the ground. Then you'll transition to the roof. This will all be covered in the documenting instructions part of the video series. All right, after you're done documenting the claim, you're going to go ahead and take a photo of the roof and flex that in the group chat. Let everyone know that you just signed a roof. Show it off a little, and there's going to be possibly a spiff that you can qualify for, but it needs to be documented in SalesRabbit, AccuLinks, and in the group chat. So there it is. That's the sales process in a nutshell. We're going to dive deeper in these coming videos on each step and what you'll want to do to make sure you're successful in it. Again, if you have questions, ask your team members, ask other members of the office, ask your sales manager. You can always get help whenever you ask for it here.